Hello and welcome to Education Today. I'm Jonathan Zish with the Armstrong School District. First, I'd like to thank everyone at WIUP-TV for airing this broadcast. Today we're going to look at some easy tips on how students can improve their study habits. That's often the key to improving their grades and their feeling of success at middle school, junior high school, and senior high school. To help us learn about our study habits today, we have Mr. John Klovico, who has taught secondary students for 20 years and also has taught study skills classes. He now teaches 8th grade social studies at Ford City Junior Senior High School. Mr. Klovico, on behalf of the school board and administration, welcome to Education Today.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Would you please tell us about yourself?
Yes, I have been in the Armstrong School District for about the last 20 years. In that period of time, I have taught elementary and I have taught secondary. I graduated from Duquesne University, and from there I went on to Slippery Rock, where I got a double master's. One is as a reading specialist, the other is as a social studies teacher. Currently, I'm teaching social studies for the district, but prior to that, I did teach as a reading specialist, and I did teach a program called Study Skills.
Now, would you please tell us why the middle school and junior high school years, which is what you teach, why that's such a crucial time for students to pick up good study habits?
Well, when students come in 7th grade to junior high school, usually we try to integrate them in the idea that they have classes instead of being all together. And in this time, it's very critical to get them from the elementary phase of mind to the secondary phase. In that 3-year period, 6th, 7th, and 8th, or in some cases 7th and 8th, you have to go basically from a shorter type of material to basically a larger type with more narrative in it, more textbook, and get them used to the idea of taking notes, being able to use higher thinking critical skills, basically stop memorizing so much and applying what they're learning through like more or less a scientific process. It's a very tough transition period for a child to go from basically being a child to becoming a young adult.
I see. Well, the first thing we're going to hit is reading. And I was wondering if you'd please share some of the advice that you have for parents and students about reading.
Okay, basically, as a former reading specialist, one of the things we really try to increase is the amount of reading skill. Reading's a lifelong achievement. The more you read, the better you learn. The more you read, the faster you learn, and the faster you read. It's a skill that multiplies itself with use. As you read, you learn that you start encompassing sentences, and then eventually paragraphs, and eventually you start scanning whole pages. When you have a lot of material to cover in high school, that's a very important thing to do. You really can't read too much word by word. For parents to encourage their children to read, as a former reading specialist, we always encourage them to buy subscriptions to magazines, allow extra reading time at home, before they went to bed tonight to possibly allow 15 minutes to a half hour that they would read. That the parent would possibly model reading by watching the child, watching them read, ask significant questions about what the child is reading and express an interest in it. The more interest you show in your child's reading, probably the more interest will come back to you in the form of good grades and essentially a better reader and a better student.
Wow. Well, now, going to the home environment, what are some things that parents and students can do at home to improve the environment for good study habits?
Basically at home, one of the things I found as a secondary teacher is a lot of parents tell me that they send their child to read up in their room or to study up in their room. The problem with that is basically twofold. One, they're away from you and you can't really monitor their activities. Two, they probably have every invention known to man up in their rooms. And they spend a lot of time with that and little time with the schoolwork. Most studies in education show that if you have another factor that's being inhibited, or being distributed, while you are reading, your attention and your memorization and your comprehension drops dramatically. Basically, in any test we've ever done, if a person's talking to you while you're trying to memorize something, you basically do not know what you just memorized. I go with the old idea that the child sitting at the table, the parent's there working in the kitchen, doing something. He's observing or she's observing what the child's doing. If the child needs help, they're there. The other thing, too, is it's a form of encouragement saying, hey, when you get this done, you can go outside and do what you want to, get your work done, and then you can enjoy your evening.
You mentioned the importance of parents monitoring the study environment. What are the kinds of monitoring that you suggest that parents can do to set a tone that they will hold their children accountable for good study habits?
Well, one of the
Encourage
things I think of when a parent monitors their child, the child's looking for encouragement and help. The thing that you really have to show your child is essentially that, look, this is not that tough to do. If you hit a stumbling block, if you hit an obstacle, you can surmount that. You can try it different ways. You don't have to know everything about it that exists. You're basically an adult and you found ways to overcome life's problems. What you're trying to teach your child is there are multiple solutions to a problem. If one stops, one solution isn't viable, you go to the next one. Plus the fact, if the child truly doesn't understand and you want to call the teacher and talk, it gives you a better basis to describe what's going on with the child, and you can form a better understanding between teacher, parent, and child that way.
Speaking of staying on top of things, Armstrong School District offers parents and students Edline, which is a way to glimpse, how they're doing with their grades and assignments on the internet, all throughout the 9-week grading period, and it's updated continually.
Yes.
Let's go to your classroom to see how this program called Edline works.
The Armstrong School District has available for secondary parents and students a software program to view student grades and assignments via the web. The school district has implemented Edline in an attempt to enhance student academic success. Edline is a secure, web-based service to assist with parent-student-teacher communication, which may be accessed anywhere internet service is available. Parents and students each have a separate code to access Edline. The teacher class page is where a parent or student may view grades, class assignments, and other activities a teacher may post. Class assignments and grades are updated weekly throughout the school year. Teachers may also post other information in the form of worksheets, website links for class research, or contact parents via email to alert them on their child's performance. Edline provides a simple but powerful tool to communicate with parents and staff. Our goal is that the use of technology will allow parents and teachers to interact on more full basis regarding a student's academic performance.
Well, that was a nice overview. Now, attendance is another good point. Generally, if you miss 10 days in a school year, parents get an excessive absence letter because we're concerned. After 15 days, they will need to turn in a doctor's excuse for all future absences. Now, Mr. Clavico, for purely academic reasons, would you walk us through how frequent absences can negatively impact a student?
Sure. One of the things a student does when they come back is the first thing we ask them to do is, because the teacher usually is responsible for 140, possibly 170 or more students, we tell the child that when they miss, we ask them to come back and ask us what they missed. Frequently, we have our stuff on the board, and they can pick it up there. In my particular room, I keep a series of folders with the day's work that the child can get. But when a child is absent for frequently longer than a day or two, then we ask the parents that they could send to the school, and we will send them the homework home so the child stays with us. The reasons that we do this are sort of obvious. As the child comes back to school, they're trying to make up 2 days in one. Frequently, that's not a good idea. The child's playing catch-ups, particularly in math and science, where you're trying to do formulas, you're trying to do particular types of work. In my case, in a social studies class, we might have moved on to the next section in the book, and the child really hasn't experienced the board work that's being done, or had access to the other students, or listened to the questions, or listened to the teacher's description. That all seriously impacts on how well they understand the material. Take that, multiply it by a couple days, and the child's lagging behind not only 1 day, but possibly a week. And it's getting very hard, and the child's getting frustrated. Basically, what we find is that the children who basically come to school on a very regular basis show that in grades and their ability to perceive and comprehend. We find that the children that miss more and more school, generally their marks reflect the fact that they're not playing catch-up and they're not able to make up some of this work.
Thank you for that expert advice. Now, what advice do you have for students who, let's say, they're given a big paper to read, and they quickly lose sight of what the big picture is about?
Okay, let me show you how you reduce something large and unmanageable in print down to something that's bite-sized and comprehensible for a student. What I do is I give my students these pre-reading to do in class. Now, for them to successfully accomplish it, there's a question. This would be the question right here. All right? And then I ask them to look down this column and find the answer. Now, I'll frequently tell them how many sentences they need to find, which basically reduces the amount of paper that they have to highlight. Now, let's go over to this sheet. On this sheet, I've done that for you, and I've shown you that out of all of this, the only thing they had to find was this. Now, if I go to the second question, which is over here, I've asked them to find a little bit more. But you'll still notice that this is considerably less than all. Yet these are the important things that they have to find. It's highlighted, it's bright, and it's very easy for a child to pick up. Next, when you're done, you have a good, visible copy that has reduced 500 or 600 words down to possibly as many as 50, 60 that are ultra important, and the rest you don't really need. I always recommend, plus the fact when you do that, it blends in very well with Microsoft if you're typing up your notes. Secondly, if you do it like that, you can rely on that, and what I often recommend is in that case, get yourself a folder, put the work in a folder, organize your folder, and it's a good study aid.
You touched on an important point, and that is note-taking.
Yes.
I was wondering if you could explain why is note-taking important to the learning process, and how can you advise a student who's maybe not so good at note-taking with some simple tips?
Well, if you're not good at note-taking is essentially taking down the information that you need in a very fast, very efficient form. You cannot do that in sentences. What I ask my students to do is to break it down into simple phrases. I ask them to do what we do in Microsoft, which is break it down into bullets, to basically outline your notes. And you have a chance. I always recommend if you have a chance at home to do it, fine. If you don't, then on the school bus in the morning while you're coming to school and you're having a half-hour trip, take your notes out, revise your notes, write down a clear description of them. What you didn't pick up or you don't understand, write a question there. And then that day in class, you can ask the teacher, and the teacher can give you the information you need. The other thing, too, is when you're studying, you have notes to fall back on. You don't have to read 25 pages in the book. You have at most 5 or 6 pages of highly condensed notes that you've taken that the teacher has explained in class to you, and at the same time, you have written down. The more facets that you use, as in if I use my memory, I use writing skills, the quicker and easier it is to comprehend, and the more the mind retains.
Well, now, with regard to open house and teacher conferences with parents, how could parents help out their children here?
Oh, that's a very great help for their children. I like to see on open house, I'd like to see I have 172 students this year, I'd like to see 172 parents. I didn't see quite that many. And there's a lot of times it's a very important link between the parent and teacher. You get to see the teacher, you get to hear how they talk, you get to see how they present their material. On open house for myself, I list the tests that I'm going to give, the types of material I'm going to cover, how I test, how I grade, where they can get this information, where they can call me, how they can get in touch with me. I list all that for them. It's a very quick, fast 10 or 15 minutes, but it's a very valuable 10 or 15 minutes. It sets the tone for the rest of the year between the parent and teacher. It's a very good opportunity for two people who are both interested in the student to get together for that student's well-being.
Going back to homework and parents helping out with homework, sometimes, especially with some of the higher level courses, parents may feel a little intimidated by the math or science or the reading, and may feel embarrassed about their ability to help their child. I was wondering if you could tell me why parents should put these feelings aside and how they can help their children in this regard.
Well, essentially, your child is a learner. You are an accomplished learner. You have gone through high school, possibly junior college, possibly college. Whatever you've gone through, you have life experience to bring. In my old field of reading, we called that schema. The more learning that you have that you can apply to a subject, the easier it is. Now, your child doesn't have the experience that you do. You can lend your experience. You can show your child that there are multiple solutions to a problem. There's another way to attack it. Or if not, if you both arrive and you don't both understand the reason, then you can at least say to your child, look, let's write down our questions on a sheet of paper, and you can present that to the teacher and ask, what's this step? Why did I miss that? It's easier for the teacher then to say, oh, you missed this step. Let's go back and review that, rather than, I don't understand what you're saying. It's a clearly more lucid method. You're the adult. You are the person that is responsible for your child. You are the person that went through all this, and you're the person that's going to guide your child. And from my viewpoint as a teacher, there's no possible wrong way to do that when you're helping your child. You're showing the child that you care. You're showing them that, no, okay, you hit frustration level, let's go back and check it. Let me see if there's another way to do it. If not, at least you can show the child that you care, and they'll know to come to you for help in the future.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you would like to touch on before we conclude our show?
Basically, that the one tool that we've shown, Edline, is probably one of the best tools that you can have for communication with the teacher. It shows the child's daily marks. You can find out exactly where the child is. It shows the child's homework for the day. It shows the child's assignments for the day. It gives an address for our internet service that you can contact the teacher with. Thank you.
Tremendous. Well, very nice. Well, thank you for this the study skills that you shared with us, and I appreciate you sharing your expert advice with us, Mr. Klebicko.
Thank you for allowing me the opportunity.
Yes. We'd also like to thank Ren Steele, who teaches television production classes at West Shamokin Junior Senior High School. His students did a great job as today's film crew. We'd also like to thank 2 Armstrong School District administrators who helped to develop this episode on study skills, Dr. Cheryl Solosky, Curriculum Coordinator, and Dr. Bev Long, Federal Programs Coordinator. Please join us again next week for another look at the Armstrong School District. For more information about what's going on in the district, please visit our website.
Each fall, something special happens in central Armstrong County. The community of Elderton displays its remarkable colors, revealing not only the rural splendor of its landscape, but the vibrant spirit of its people. On the Cowashannock branch of the Great Shamokin Path, people from the communities of Dayton and Rural Valley come together and flourish like the multicolored foliage of an autumn forest. Further south in Ford City, the majestic waters of the Allegheny River flow timelessly forward as an industrious town steeped in tradition rediscovers its potential for greatness. And in the county seat of Katanning, Pennsylvania, the autumn winds bring positive change and revitalization to a community with a historic past and a promising future. Throughout central Armstrong County, fall is a season marked by tradition and transition. Like the autumn leaves, students across the Armstrong School District return each year to don the colors that represent their schools and exemplify their own unique heritage and traditions. Individually, each is impressive, but collectively, like a magnificent multicolored autumn collage, they are, together, brilliant. Working together for academic excellence, the Armstrong School District is a public education system serving more than 7,000 students from 30 municipalities throughout central Armstrong County and a small portion of western Indiana County. The district operates with an annual budget of approximately $69 million and is Armstrong County's largest employer with 775 professional staff and support personnel. The Armstrong School District covers 436 square miles and encompasses 4 attendance areas: Elderton, Ford City, Katanning, and West Shamokin. The district's elementary schools offer a full continuum of educational opportunities and developmental programs for students in grades K through 6. Teachers collaborate on student learning projects with an emphasis on developing strong skills in math, science, technology, and language arts. Reasonable class sizes and a productive, student-centered learning environment are the hallmarks of the district. Morning and afternoon kindergarten options are available in each attendance area. The district's secondary schools offer traditional educational programs with a strong focus on student achievement and preparation for post-secondary education and training. The Armstrong School District, in partnership with its families and communities, graduates educationally prepared, productive, morally responsible individuals. To achieve this mission, the Armstrong School District has developed a comprehensive strategic development plan that will guide the district well into the 21st century. The district's strategic plan provides direction for developing locally adopted academic standards that meet and exceed those at the state or national level. The strategic plan also allows the Armstrong School District to maintain control of operations, policy development, and administrative procedures. In the Armstrong School District today, there's a world of possibilities. A world driven by educational technology, where opportunities for extraordinary learning and achievement are as boundless as the dreams, abilities, and imagination of Armstrong School District students and educators. Access to technology is available in all K-12 classrooms in the Armstrong School District. Students use the internet to become active, independent learners. As a productivity, learning, and communications tool, technology has a positive impact on curriculum and instruction. The district's investment in technology enables greater individualized instruction and extends the boundaries of the traditional classroom. Like any successful school district, the Armstrong School District's greatest asset is its dedicated team of educators. Staff development initiatives allow teachers to take part in continuing professional education and training activities. Many of these training initiatives take place in Armstrong School District's new Professional Development Center, located in the district's administrative offices. The state-of-the-art facility features a total of 16 computer workstations, an interactive whiteboard and plasma monitors for video conferencing and multimedia presentations. New initiatives in the electro-optics industry and the emergence of other high-tech industries are positive indicators of economic development in Armstrong County, which could translate into tremendous opportunities for a new generation of employees. To meet the needs of these burgeoning local industries, the Armstrong School District emphasizes math, science, and technology in its curriculum. District graduates are also empowered with solid problem-solving and critical thinking skills. The Armstrong School District provides career awareness and post-secondary education and training opportunities through ongoing partnerships with the Armstrong Educational Trust, Armstrong Chamber of Commerce, Strongland Chamber of Commerce, and Lenape Tech. Post-secondary educational institutions within commuting distance for district residents include Indiana University of Pennsylvania, Clarion University, Penn State New Kensington campus, Butler Community College, and the many colleges and universities located in the Pittsburgh area. The Armstrong School District, in accordance with Pennsylvania Department of Education Chapter 14 regulations, provides special education services to its students based on physical, sensory, mental, or emotional disability. The district conducts evaluation reports and develops needs-based individualized education programs for each eligible student. IDEA training teams work to implement the best possible programs for district students. Incoming kindergarten students take part in the Successful Kids screening programs in the spring of each year. The screenings provide specific and detailed information in regard to a child's motor, auditory, cognitive, and language areas. Students in need of assistance participate in an extended day kindergarten speech-language program, a Title I initiative where specialists provide targeted support to ASD students in smaller group sessions. The schools in the Armstrong School District have a rich tradition of excellence in interscholastic high school athletics. The district also takes great pride in its wide range of performing arts programs, including choral, band, and drama programs. The district holds several special events and programs throughout the course of the school year to give students the opportunity to showcase their talent in these areas. At all grade levels, physical education classes give Armstrong School District students an opportunity to improve their athletic skills and physical conditioning. Armstrong School District students are also offered a wide range of electives that give them the opportunity to become more well-rounded, productive individuals. Elective courses in home economics, foreign languages, industrial arts, and many other areas expand the overall scope of the educational experience. The Armstrong School District operates an in-house food service program that offers a wide variety of nutritious lunch selections. The district takes part in the National School Lunch Program. Free or reduced-priced lunches are offered to eligible students. Safe and reliable transportation is provided to all attendance areas in the Armstrong School District. The communities of the Armstrong School District are not only a great place to learn, they are a great place to live. The area offers residents a unique blend of rural beauty combined with a progressive vision of the future. The diversity and pride of the district's many communities are its strength. Realizing that all members of the community are stakeholders in education, the Armstrong School District strives to provide adequate and equitable funding to ensure equal opportunities for all students and a fair chance for schools to improve performance. Important information about the progress of the Armstrong School District is shared with residents through a district newsletter. The district also maintains an informative website to keep local residents up to date with school events and activities. To stimulate population growth and increase the local tax base, the Armstrong School District has introduced a new home construction tax abatement program. The program exempts 100% of property tax on the assessed value of new residential construction for homes started from January 28, 2002 to June 30, 2005. Under the program, residential properties are exempt from taxes for a period of 24 months. Like the leaves of autumn, each of the individual schools within the Armstrong School District is remarkably unique and special. But as one, these schools and the students, educators, and parents who comprise them are together brilliant.